Hello everybody, it's Gary Halican here, and we've got a cool one to look at today. Today we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series REVA figure, or third sister per her Inquisitor designation. This figure is of course from the Kenobi Disney Plus series, and I didn't think that the Kenobi figures were meant to be released for quite some time, so I wasn't expecting to see them in stock, but when I saw that REVA was in stock on Amazon, I figured I would go ahead and get her and check her out here. This is a figure I wanted to get since I first saw the pictures of it, and the reason for that is because regardless of what you may think of the show or the character or anything like that, all the pictures of this figure seem to indicate that this was really one of the best as far as replicating the likeness of the actor, and that's something that I'm really interested in. I'd like to see, figures that really look like the person they're supposed to be. So when I saw the pictures for this one, I thought, that one looks great, and so we'll see if it is here. Besides, I like REVA well enough anyway, especially towards the end of the show, I liked her better. And she looks cool, which is about 75% of what you need to be a good sci-fi villain, so no problems there, right? Anyway, packaging is the same as any other Black Series figure. It's got the color here to indicate which series it's from within the Black Series. We've got the artwork on the side there, same artwork on the back, and a little blurb. However, this blurb is about the show in general and not about the character. Otherwise, that's about it for the packaging. So let's get her out and see what we think. Okay, so here is REVA out of the package, and yeah, aesthetically, this one is pretty great. It really hits all the notes that I think it needs to. I know my lighting, of course, as always, isn't the best, but I'll bring her up close to the camera, and you'll get more looks at that. Also, no problem standing up, which I've had a lot of problems with recent figures I've looked at in standing up, and no problems here. This figure feels pretty sturdy and hefty. One thing I'll say, I think the proportions are good on this. I know Hasbro has lots of things you can complain about, but I think in figures I've seen recently, they're doing a better job of making the proportions look more like the real person that it's supposed to be. I'm so used to old action figure lines where every figure has the same body, right, and they all look alike, so I feel that they're doing a better job at that. So aesthetically, this figure is really good. Her suit is replicated, fantastically. Looks just about just like in the show. It's obviously not very much paint on it because it's mostly black, but you'll notice there are multiple different finishes. So we've got the glossier look for armor, and it's not too glossy, which is good. That's accurate to the show. It's kind of gloss, but not real gloss. And then we got the more matte black and dark gray for her undersuit. If we look close at her boots here, they actually have a bit of a leather texture on them there. I think the boots is one of the best looking parts of this. So suit, yeah, really looks right. The body looks right. She has a cape. It's very much like what you'd see with the old school Batman action figures, which I had plenty of those that had capes just like this, just a thin piece of fabric. But that's nice to get a soft cape. I know some people like that, some people don't like that. I tend to like this a little better than the rigid plastic capes. As well as for the paint that is on there, it's just the silver up on her shoulder pieces here, and the silver belt buckle. And then here, actually only the bottom button should be red. The top one should be silver, so I've got some stray red paint on my copy here, but that's okay. And the belt buckle, I don't know, it doesn't have the nicest silver application to it, but otherwise no problems there. The other thing I like is this figure, and I know a lot of them are doing this now, has all the pinless joints, so the joints aren't really that readily visible in the elbows and the knees and things like that, so that's really nice. But the main event for this figure, the main selling point, is the head sculpt. So this is quite good. I think especially for this scale figure, if it'll focus in on it there, especially for this scale and this price point. I know the prices have gone up on all of these, but for this scale, this is really quite good of a head sculpt. There it goes. There it focuses in. The likeness, I think, is really good. This is definitely Moses Ingram, especially the profile view. I think that really looks like her. The paint is pretty nice. I've heard some complaints in other videos that the faces are kind of shiny on these, and I could see where that's kind of a complaint. I think she looks less shiny in person than she does on camera here. But I think overall the face sculpt is really great. Like I said, especially for this scale. Painted really well. The eyes look really good. The hair is also really good. And what's nice about it is you can see that there's some brown in between the black braids here. And that makes it look a lot more realistic. You know, you can kind of see her scalp through her hair there. And adds to the realisticness, adds to the likeness. So yeah, aesthetically, this is the good stuff here. Looks, you know, just like she looks in the show. All right, so let's look at articulation next. So, look up, pretty good. That's one of the best looking ups of any figure I've reviewed in quite some time. Of course, it does bend her hair here, so you can watch out for that. Look down, not really too much look down. Let's see if we got some tilt. Pretty good tilt. Pretty good head tilt. Side to side there. Of course, can turn side to side. It looks like, so there is a joint at the base of her head and also at her neck. So that's good. We can get a lot going on with the head. Really nice articulation there. Okay. So for the shoulders, looks like they don't really, well, they can go straight out. So shoulders can go straight out. You'll see it lifts up these armor panels here. It's kind of stiff, the shoulders on this one. Shoulders could go all the way around, but oh, actually, looks like this armor is attached to the arm and not to the shoulder. So, and it looks like I've got it all out of place here. There we go. All right, so it looks like that armor panel is attached to the arm and not to the shoulder, so we can get it to move with it. I've got it kind of out of place now, it looks like, but we'll get it back in there. So the arm could go all the way around if not for the shoulder armor there. So no bicep swivel. Does have swivel at the elbow, and elbow, pretty good elbow, so past 90 degrees there. Pretty good elbow. She does have swivel at her gloves as well. So right here. Swivel at the gloves there. And for the hands, we've got swivel for the hands, and she has the vertical hinges on the hands. They can't really go very far, but they go a little bit. So as we know, those are good for holding swords and guns and things like that. So that'll be good for that. I think I've got this shoulder armor messed up a little bit there, but there it's mostly back into place. All right, so she's got joint at the waist. So as far as lean back about that far, so a little bit. Crunch forward, only a little bit, but I think it's enough to get the kind of poses you want. If you watch the show, REVA kind of has a distinctive stance, it seems like. She's always sort of leaned forward a little bit when she stands around and walks. At least that's what I noticed. So we'll get the good poses, even though it doesn't crunch very far forward. I think it's enough to do that. We'll go side to side. Not very much. Just a little bit. And can twist there at that joint as well. Okay, so down to the hips. Legs will go straight out. We'll go back a little bit. This back flap is a rubbery material, so shouldn't get in the way too much. We'll go back a little bit. Can go out pretty good. So no splits, but can go out pretty good there. She has a swivel here at the thigh. That, of course, will break up the pattern on her pants. As for the knees are only 90 degrees. So that's, you know, not the best, but that's not too bad. She has swivel at the knees, though. So interestingly, this swivel is at the knee and not at the top of her boot. So that's kind of a strange one there. As for the feet, go up that far, point down pretty much all the way, and tilt in pretty good, tilt out pretty good. So I think we'll get pretty good poses. I think articulation is not bad at all on her here. All right, so next we'll see accessories. Okay, so for accessories, she comes with her regular Inquisitor lightsaber handle, and it looks quite good. It's got black with some silver paint on it, so that's good. I've seen a lot of other figures recently that have accessories that are just all one color, and so this is nice. It has some paint on it. It has a little tiny peg right here, and there's a little tiny peg hole on her belt right here. So we can peg in the lightsaber there. It kind of gets in the way, I guess, of the cape and stuff that way. So probably have her holding it more often than have it on the belt. As you may have seen in the beginning of this video, it comes on it in the package with two blades installed on it. So those are both removable. Two red lightsaber blades. So you just pop in like that. So for most of the show, she uses it like this with just one blade on it. Let's see how she does it holding it. Okay, so no problems there. Lightsaber fits in the hand well enough. It's maybe a little bit loose, but I don't think she is going to have any chance of dropping it. Okay, so if you watch the whole show, you know that eventually she does fire up two blades on it. And this is where we have a little bit of inaccuracy coming in, because in the show, when she uses both blades at once, this piece folds out and becomes a full circle so that the blades can spin. It's a little bit of a soft piece here, but that becomes a full circle, all right, so that the blades can spin around it. And so we don't have that, we just have the half circle handle, but that's okay. That's, not too big a deal. So that looks really good. The blades look good. They're nice, red clear plastic. She does not come with any extra hands, unfortunately, so it would be nice if she came with sort of a force pushing hand or something like that. But she does come with a couple other accessories. Spoilers here, but if you've watched the whole show, you know that towards the end, when she encounters Darth Vader, he splits her lightsaber in half. So here we have the two split pieces, and these don't fit together here. They're just two independent pieces, but this is to represent when her lightsaber is split in half. And I don't think she uses these halves herself independently. I think it's just Darth Vader that does that. I don't remember for sure. The blades then are removable on these too, so you can have them just as the handles. So she doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories, but plenty, I think, enough to achieve all the things you might want to do with this figure. The lightsaber is really the important thing, and that's the main thing she uses in the show. All right, let's do some size comparisons next. Okay, for size comparisons, here is REVA with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Scarlet figure. So they're pretty much the same size there. Here she is with Marvel Legends Cersei. So Cersei is maybe a speck taller, but pretty much the same size. I've got Cersei standing up straighter, I think. So she's going to fit in just fine with all of your 6-inch scale Hasbro figures. I don't have any other Star Wars Black Series ones open to show with here, but G.I. Joe Classified, Marvel Legends, she's going to look just fine with all of those, fit right in. Here is McFarlane Toys Harley Quinn. So as we would expect, she's quite a bit taller there. Those are more in the 7-inch scale. We'll see if we get everybody standing up. There we go. All right, here she is with a 3 3/4 Star Wars figure. So here's good old Rose Tico there, Resistance Tech Rose. Right. Here is a standard 12-ounce beverage can. And as always, here she is with John Cena. So she doesn't look too bad with him. He's a little bit taller, of course, as he usually is. So, in conclusion, Star Wars Black Series REVA figure. This is a great one. I haven't really opened any Star Wars Black Series ones before. I don't know if they're all this good. But as far as looking like the person it's supposed to look like, and having really good articulation and really solid feel, I say this is a great figure. So thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for some dramatic poses, and we'll see you in the next review.